money or any kind of form, just get it there immediately or you'll be shut down. Here to talk a bit about those callers and what to do if they get a hold of your number, Detective Rick Bielik with the Omaha Police Department. Thanks so much for coming and joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We've kind of talked about this off and on. Maybe we'll get a little more, we'll dive deep into this. So what is the scam that's happening now? Is it tied into like a heat wave that we're getting almost?
You know, that does come around a lot. It seems like they're dialed into the Weather Channel, the scamsters are, because they'll know exactly what area is having their problems with heat or cold. And they'll call victims up unsolicited and say, hey, look, we're from OPPD. You need to go out right now, immediately, and get a green dot money pack card like this. I'll give that to you.
Yeah, I can hold it up right there.
And what they'll do is they'll instruct you to put money on there saying that you have an unpaid bill or some kind of a fine or any other kind of nonsense. You'll go out, put the money on the card, scratch off the back. It reveals a 10-digit code on there that if you call them back and give them that code, they can just deplete this card from all of its money.
You never even meet the person.
You never even meet the person. Chances are they might not even be here in the United States.
But they take that card, and then what do? They just put it on
take the money
card?
And they put it onto a different prepaid card, debit card, something along those lines, and they do online purchases with it.
How common is this now?
It's pretty common.
So you're getting people that have called and. But of course, do they call you after they've already done this?
Yes, and then they'll say, is there any way that I can get the funds back? And no, by that time they're long gone. They'll get these other credit cards that they'll put that cash on, and a lot of those are almost untraceable.
And I think the ruse is that we're kind of ingrained that once we have one of these cards, we think that we put the money on, and you have to then come and get the card from me to get the money, but you don't now.
Not in this case, no. And in some cases, they will actually tell the people that, hey, as long as you hold on to that card, as long as you're in possession of that card, you still have the money available to you. So it's okay to give me that number, because all I'm doing is just verifying that you put the money on the card. They'll use that line sometimes, and it's pretty effective for them. It works.
So bottom line here, you've got these agencies that do deal with shut-off notices at times and things like that, but they don't say, go get a card at Walgreens and give me a number.
If somebody calls you, it doesn't matter if they say they're with the FBI, Omaha Police Department, OPPD, it doesn't matter. If they ask you to go out and get one of these cards, you're being scammed, plain and simple.
Yeah, because nobody's paying their bills.
Not this way.
With that, what's some of the amounts that they're asking for out of the people that have been taken?
Well, usually they'll do it for a smaller amount at first, maybe a couple $100s. And then once they got that person on the hook, they think, well, they're susceptible. Let's go ahead and keep hammering them with more and more, and they'll keep going until they figure they can just wring the chamois dry.
Are they going into this phone book and just cold calling people, or do they have a list of
There's
people?
A lot of different ways, a lot of social engineering type of ways where they can get somebody's phone number that they might think that they're a little bit more susceptible than other people might be. And the phone book is one of them. It's not the only way, but it definitely is one of them.
And it makes it next to impossible for you to find these people, doesn't it?
It really does.
And they might not even, like you said, be in the jurisdiction.
Exactly.
All right, so long story short, if they're asking for those things, run.
Yeah, absolutely.
Run. All right, Rick, good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Still to come here live at 4, we'll have the latest in business headlines at CNBC. First.